Welcome back to another episode of Ultras 11. I'm still Joe. I feel like we haven't introduced ourselves.
And I'm Al.
I don't know why I even said that. Sorry,
It's
guys.
okay, Joe. We
Second
want to make sure that they get our names in their head.
Yeah. Kind of rhetorical at this
I'm
point.
Joe, he's Al. I'm Al, he's Joe.
Yeah.
You know, we can be whatever you want to be.
Yeah. We're not gonna, I was going to say we could be him, but we're not him.
We're not
either.
Himothy.
We're just each other, I guess. But last week we did the Premier League predictions. We went through that. As you guys saw, there's a bet at stake here. If you didn't see that, go back to our previous episodes, see what we're actually betting this time around. Somebody will be significantly embarrassed. And I have a feeling it'll probably be me because this week I decided I was going to bet on things.
And how did that go for you?
I'm like, okay, first game of the season. Obviously, everybody's figuring out the king still, shit like that. But the big teams are going to want to come on strong, right? Like, they're going to win, no doubt about that. Yeah, I was really wrong.
Hey,
like, when I mean really wrong, I mean
if you were like that courageous guy that was just like, you know what? Everybody's going to tie this weekend. And you went with that. You could have made some good money this weekend.
If you bet on a lot of cards being given, I think in the Prem this weekend there was 3 or 4 red cards.
Yeah.
Like a shit ton of yellow cards.
Week one.
Yeah,
week one. This is week one.
It's going to be a weird season. I feel like this year isn't going to be like we've all been twerking for the season to come back, but I genuinely just have a feeling now like this isn't going to be an entertaining year. Like in any way, like the leagues are going to be very.
You can't look at the first game of the season and to like just say that this is how the season's going to be. Yeah, it's not going to be that good.
Obviously,
Joe, that I genuinely think this year, just through all of football, it's going to be entertaining. I feel like there's going to be a lot of upsets, a lot of things that people literally just people are going to think it's going to go one way and it's going to be completely different. I generally think no one's going to know what's happening.
We're going to have a Leicester City again, I think, this year. Somewhere. So. Not Leicester City winning the Prem, but I'm saying I think we may have a Leicester City.
Like an underdog just coming out of nowhere.
Yeah. Even if it's that like underdog coming into the top 4 of a league and like really contending for the title somehow.
Like Venezia finishing top 4.
I don't know about that. I mean, they ride boats to their games. They're a little bit...
Drake bought them now, so.
No, Drake's just a fucking loser. Fuck that guy. Sorry, Drake. The 100 gigs is pretty cool. But anyways, so last week we did the Premier League predictions. This week
we're doing what we love. Serie A, baby. We're here. Oh my God, Joe. I'm tingling right now. Looking at the table. We're sitting in a good spot right now. Don't want to brag about anything. Probably should have done this episode before we ended up playing because now I'm just cocky as hell and I'm probably going to start spitting some nonsense as we're going through this.
We'll allow Al to be cocky. But now we're going to do a Serie A prediction. If you didn't quite grasp what Al was saying,
are we gonna do like a bet or anything for this one?
No. Oh,
you want to add like a stipulation for this one here too? Like I don't think we're gonna be doing, doing all the leagues, but like the top 2 leagues, we did something for the Prem. Everybody knows now what the bets are gonna be. If you want to know, you're gonna have to listen to last week's episode. We're not gonna tell you now.
Yeah. So last week we made a bet for the Prem. You know, we'll do another bet for this.
Ooh.
Last week, obviously. You saw the bet there. This bet, one of us has to publicly make a video, post it on Ultras 11, of one of us singing our club's respective song. So if I win this little prediction thing, Al needs to sing Grazie Roma, and we're going to post that. If Al wins it, then I have to sing Juve's song.
Oh, dude, I was gonna go for something way different.
Well, that's publicly embarrassing enough.
No, I was gonna suggest whoever the loser has to go to Denny's and sit in there for 24 hours and eat only pancakes. And every pancake that you eat, that's a half hour off your time.
Half hour or an hour?
Half hour for every pancake.
Okay. You know what? Deal. That's the new one.
and it's going to be obviously live streamed on the Ultras account.
Yeah. Oh, that's a bold one though, man. I'm trying to think like, okay, fuck, we record Mondays.
You're going to have to start on Sunday.
That's a big bill too, man. It could be a big bill.
Could be. Depending how many pancakes you eat and how much time you're going to end up spending there.
Okay, you know what? We'll leave it up to everybody else to decide.
Okay, we'll leave this one open.
We're going to leave this one open. So would you rather that Denny's thing that we eat pancakes for 24 hours and every pancake we eat...
Pancake can save a life. Save your life.
Takes off 30 minutes? Or would you rather see one of us sing? Which...
I mean, or if you guys have any suggestions, we're very open to anything like
this
that.
This one will be an open one. We'll leave it up to you guys.
We'll keep it at those two are like the main ones, but if you guys got something better for us, we are both open and, I mean, not willing to, but
I definitely don't want to lose anything.
A bet's a bet.
Yeah, you got to do it.
We got to do it. So whatever they come up with or whatever we end up deciding on, we'll tell you guys next week. We'll let you guys know what it ends up being, this whole this embarrassment. And because I feel like since this is our league and we should know this more, that's why I feel like it should be a little bit harsher than the first one.
So you remember when we used to, like when we first started the podcast, we would bet on games, like us two, 4 games we choose, whatever, and the loser had to take a shot.
Oh yeah, you were taking shots every week.
I would leave here hammered every single time.
I think one of the times, because you got there was like a couple of weeks in a row that you didn't do it, so you had like 4 shots lined up, and you took it before an episode. I'm pretty sure you were not all there that episode.
Yeah, my eyes were heavy that day.
Joe's eyes were starting to fucking go Beppe Morata style.
Lack of sleep, we'll blame it on. But anyways. Yeah, we'll leave that. We'll make a video, post it, blah, 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 whatever. Cool.
I mean, I'll probably just add it into next week's episode, Joe.
Regardless, you know what I mean.
Realistically.
But, so, let's start this off. Yeah, that resets everything, I guess. So, Al, do you want to start or do you want me to start it off? Joe, I started last week, actually. So, you start.
I was just about to say, I'm going to start this one.
Yeah.
So, don't think that you did anything there. In my 20th spot, or as Joe would say, in my bottom 20, I'm gonna go. In last place, I am gonna say Lecce, coming dead last. Just genuinely think that they're gonna be a team that's maybe they'll get 1 win this season, and it'll be against somebody that no one expects. Probably, yeah, maybe Roma, could be one of those teams.
Somehow Bashiroto's going to score a thunder cunt of a header or something.
But I just genuinely feel like they're just coming up to go right back down.
No, they were in the league last year.
But I mean, like one of those teams that they're up and they're down and they're going to go back down. They're not a team that's consistently going to stay in the league. Especially now like that, I feel like they haven't really. Fucking Cuomo came up and made more signings than them, and like known signings than them. I guess they're older, but experience, and they can help with a team like that.
Yeah, maybe not after today's game, but whatever. We don't.
Yeah, but again, like you're facing Juve. It's you're not gonna.
They had like 7 injuries.
Yeah. Hey. Okay. True. Fuck. They make a couple more signings. I don't know what to tell you.
Fabregas about to pull rank. But yeah.
19. I'm gonna go with here. I know it sucks, but I think it's going to be Venezia. I know Drake just bought them, huge things. Not like new sponsors on the jersey. You got Nocta, pretty crazy. Probably going to buy a jersey. Don't like the sponsor, but I'm probably still going to cop the jersey, maybe the away one.
I wouldn't buy it because
but yeah, again, they got to take a boat to the game. I don't think that'll last very long in the league. It's not good. It's not a good image for the league.
I'm even surprised they keep on coming up somehow. It's like it's almost as if their jersey sales
good
make
enough. They're good enough that they're able to like just get into there, but not maintain Serie A status.
It should have been Palermo, man. Should have been my boys.
Soon.
My pink and black babies.
Soon they'll come back, and Crotone is going to go to Serie B and then to Serie A soon.
Soon.
They got to make it there. And then in my 18th spot, I'm going to go with. This one's always a tough one, but I think that they're just gonna, get a little bit unlucky and get into that relegation spot. I think it's gonna be Cagliari.
You know what? Cagliari is not a really bad shout at all because last year they barely survived relegation. Like barely last game of the season. Wait, oh no, that was Empoli. I was gonna say, didn't they pull off that upset against Roma? But that was Empoli. Anyways, I think Cagliari. That's a very Lecce and Venezia, like Lecce, I'm kind of surprised you have them bottom 3 like that. I think they're actually going to do a little bit better, but we'll talk about me afterwards. But
this is my turn to talk, Joe, not yours.
I should have written down what you said.
And Joe wants to start talking about his bottom 3 when
for once I actually came a little bit more prepared and had this all written out.
Yeah.
Al usually is always prepared. Me, we'll talk about me. I'm just
he's going through a lot right now.
I'm just never prepared for anything, but I'm always prepped, I guess, mentally. Mentally, I'm here. Okay, so
those shower thoughts
for my bottom 3, my top 20. In dead last, I have Venezia. I don't see them surviving. Cool jerseys, Drake, you suck.
Whoa.
I don't like Drake. I'm sorry, I never did. I think he's a sellout. But anyways, Venezia, 20th.
Talk about soccer, not Drake, Joe.
I think 19th, it's going to be Empoli. And then 18th, I know they made a lot of signings, and I know they had cool jerseys last year and whatever it is, and Fabregas is at the helm. I think Como gets relegated.
No, you're crazy.
Because if today's any depiction of what they're going to be, injury plagued, their vets are getting injured. Like, it's a long season, man, and it could either continue on this trend that they're just dying out, or they somehow make a push. But I don't see them making a push. I don't think they have the depth to even compete. I think Como relegated as well. 18th place. They'll do a little bit better than the others, but
even that they just fucking end up getting in that last spot.
Yeah. I think them and whoever is in 17th are like kind of jousting for that last spot. But I think Como ultimately ends up back in Serie B.
Okay. Well, so now we'll do we're doing the next three. 17 to 15?
Yeah, we'll do 17 to 15.
Okay, so for this, I'm going to do a little bit of a reverse order than you. I'm going to put Cuomo in the 17th spot.
Okay.
I think that, today, obviously, you're playing Juve. All you got to hope for is that nobody gets injured, which a couple people did, and, you just can kind of hold them off that you're not getting, pummeled 6-0, and it becomes an embarrassment. Yeah. And you know what? I think it's all going to come down to how they bounce back next week when they play a game and just kind of see how they can recover from this. But I think throughout the season with Fabregas and the guys that they've brought in, I think they're going to sign a couple more guys. I think it'll be enough just to get them safe into Serie A for another year. And then I think I genuinely think that Como will be a team that you might stay in the league a couple 2-3 years. Mm-hmm. I think they build off this season, but I think they just make it into that last spot. Yeah. After them, it's kind of a toss up. It can be any of these two teams in the spot because they're very similar teams. I think it's going to be Udinese in 16 and Parma in 15. I think again, teams that they're going to stay in the league, but they've lost more than they've actually brought in, and I just don't think that they're going to be a team to look out for, even at close to a top 10 team.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, Parma is one of those teams. They just got promoted again. Mm-hmm. It's Parma. Sorry, it's Parma. You want to give them the benefit of the doubt that they survive because historically speaking, they were a top team. Mm-hmm. They develop a lot of fucking players, so you expect them to kind of hover and be somewhere relevant. But they've had a rough couple of years ever since the whole bankruptcy thing. But okay, I'm gonna go with. Al chose Cagliari to be the team that gets relegated. I'm the one that says they finish in 17th, right before Como. And let me explain why. Their coach is strictly the reason why I think they stay away. Yeah. Davide Nicola is a relegation specialist. He is literally a mermaid. He comes in the last 10 games of the season, staves off the fucking relegation, and then leaves. He's just a mermaid. Now he's coaching a team fully. Now, do I think he's this crazy good coach that obviously he's going to finish top 5, top 10, top whatever? No, definitely not. But I think he knows what it takes to stay away from that relegation. And that's why I think 17th spot will be his. Then me and Al kind of have the same train of thought here. A little bit of a flip, though. I have Parma in 16th, Udine in 15th. Yeah, I only put Udine a little bit above Parma simply because they made a couple decent transfers. They brought Sanchez back. That's good experience. I'm not saying Sanchez is good or anything, but it's decent enough experience. He's returning home, I guess you could say. In a sense. And I don't know. It's just Udine. I feel like they're always that 15th to 10th spot. They're always just kind of busting balls. They're always just there. So that's why I'll give them that cusp of 15, and that's it. See you later for them. But, okay. So now we'll do what, 14th to 11th? Question mark?
Yeah.
Yeah? Is that one extra team?
Yeah, it's one extra team.
Whatever.
14 to 11.
Yeah, whatever. It's okay.
In the 14th spot, fucking Torino merda, baby. I just feel like they're fucking shit, and they are shit. I know they put up a fight against what the fuck's it called? Bilad? But
no, that wasn't even a fight. That was just two shit teams going at it, to be honest with you.
Genuinely think that Milan was just fucking horrible that game. If that changes throughout the season, I mean, I hope so for them because a lot of big expectations for them this season. But I just really saw nothing special in Torino or Milan. So, like, I wouldn't even give them. But I just think Torino this year goes to Poots and they end up in that 14th spot.
It'd be nice if they got relegated. Oh, buddy. Because I still think what lives rent-free in my head is them fucking over so many players' careers because they over-evaluated them and those players would never leave and then you see them just going to shit.
Yep.
Belotti, example of that. Alessio Cerci, example of that. Ciro Immobile was able to get out of there, thankfully. But look, the next 3 clubs he went to, he was fucking dreadful for. Found a home back at Lazio. But... You know, we got to give the credit where the credit is due with him.
Like, see, you get it.
Made a little comeback in his career, right?
Yeah.
But Torino just sucks. Good history.
And then in the 13th spot, I'm probably gonna go with. I mean, again, it can be another toss-up, but I think it's gonna be. I'll say Genoa.
Okay.
I don't know. Like with this spot right here in the table, it's always like it can literally be a mix of any of these teams. Yeah. So it's just I feel like this is just kind of hoping for choosing one team and just kind of hoping for the best. In the 12th spot, I do see probably I'm gonna have to say actually Hellas Verona.
Okay.
I know, with it's Verona. Oh yeah, hey buddy, that after the first game against Napoli.
Yeah, they're all fucking knee sliding.
That's that's not the Verona you're gonna get all season, and I don't think they're a top 10 team. So I'm gonna put them over there. And then in my 11th spot, I'm gonna go with. I'm trying to think who do I want to put there. Show up 1 second. Well, that's see. I knew I missed the team. Well, I guess they're going in the 11th spot. I'm putting Empoli there. I knew I forgot about somebody, and I was like, "Wait a second."
Wait, listen. I'll give you a chance right here because I did it last week. You could change Empoli for one of these teams. Any of the teams.
Swap one team.
Yeah.
Okay.
Not your relegation teams.
No. I was going to keep those. I already see the team I want to swap them with.
From the 17th till now.
I'll swap it with Udinese.
Okay.
I'm totally fine with that. Completely forgot about that. Holy crap. I was like, man, I was looking at the list and I was like, I feel like I'm missing a team on my side. Empoli was that team. So just to kind of keep what's going on?
So my phone's fucking glitching out on me right now.
just kind of give you an update. So in 16 now I got Empoli, 15 Parma, 14 Torino, 13 Genoa, 12 Hellas Verona, 11 Udinese.
Okay,
and that's where I finish. Jos,
I was gonna say, I'm like, wait, I'm already done.
Off to you, Jos.
My list is already made. I do want to agree with you with something though. With that whole. Like, okay, 17th place, you could kind of figure out because that team's going to be kind of just surviving relegation. Maybe even arguably the 16th. From the 15th, honestly, to like the 6th, even 5th spot, it's so up in the air.
Yeah.
Because these are the guys, like, from especially like 15th to 10th, anything could happen with these guys. Every week they're changing, they're jumping, like whatever. And those are the mid-table teams. Those mid-table teams are the hardest to predict where they finish exact standing-wise, like. You could obviously make a shout for it. Who gets relegated? That's obvious. You could see it. You're not built for it. Top 5, you could see who the top teams are, like whatever. But it's that in between. That's the hardest part. And yeah, we'll see. I guess right. That's all we fucking can do. Clearly. Wait. So
who's your 14th?
14th. Yeah, I was just say. Thank God you reminded me. Okay. So 14th, I have Lecce down.
Mm-hmm.
I think they didn't really. They lost. I don't even know. They lost that striker. I don't know how to pronounce his name. I'm not going to try because it's an African name, and I'm not going to try to butcher a guy's name like today after watching Juve. God. So we're not going to try that. But yeah, I'm going to go 14th, Lecce.
Okay.
13th, Genoa. They did just lose Goodmanson, which is like a big deal.
Best player last year.
But I think it's Genoa somehow. They're that team that kind of will just always stay relevant. They made some decent signings on whatever. So I think they'll be fine. I have Torino there at the 12th spot. After talking with Al, I feel like I want to just relegate them, but we're not. And then 11th, I'm going to put Monza.
Okay.
New coach. They got was it Italiano they got?
Italiano,
yeah, right? Yeah. They got Italiano. And
No. Italiano went to
Bologna.
Yeah,
Palladino went to
Fiorentina.
Okay, Monza. Oh,
yeah.
fuck.
See, I don't
know who their coach is.
No,
right
I don't know
I'm
who they got.
Blank. I'll figure that out afterwards, and we'll see if I'll regret my decision or not. But I think Monza 11th place. I think they're a decent enough side. They did lose Colpani and Carboni, but they're still a good team. They're still very well organized. I think they'll be fine. They'll finish like almost dead center there. And also, let me preface something here. If it was up to me, I would have had Lazio in the 20th spot, relegated, gone, folded.
But you want to be realistic.
But I want to be realistic because I'm not going to let my emotions cloud like actual judgment calls. But again, that's all I'm going to say about Lazio.
Hey, no worries. No, that's all you have to say, Joe.
Lazio merda.
That's all you have to say.
Before we start getting all technical and I start getting angry.
Okay, so now am I doing top 5 now? I mean, sorry, 5 to 10 or 10 to 5?
Ooh, no, we'll do 10 to 6 because 10 to 8.
10 to 8. Okay, so we'll do
7 and on is European, right?
Yeah.
So we'll do 10 to 8.
That's true. Good call. Thank you.
Okay.
Trailer hitching me.
Right
in my 10th spot, I do agree with you in the sense, one spot down, I'm putting Monza here. Okay. I think that, even if they lost Colpani, they lost Palladino, but I still think that they're going to be a good enough side, and they're a smart side when it comes to who they're bringing in, and I feel like they're still going to be a team that's going to be making it into that top 10.
Yeah.
I don't think they'll be much lower than that 10th spot, but I think even if they might even finish in 11th or 12th, but I think genuinely in that area, that's where they'll end up finishing.
Yeah, for sure.
In the 9th spot, I'm going to go here with, and I know they won, but I think they just have a shit downfall season. I'm putting Lazio in 9.
Hell yeah.
I don't see anything good in that team, and I just think with the owner that they have, I just think it really shows this year, because every year they kind of just end up getting saved, and they win their Scudetto by finishing above Roma, and everything is just like, oh, it's okay, hey, we're good, we're fine. For them, I'm saying.
Not last year though.
Okay, no. But now that's what happened. Look, now they got nothing. Now they got rid of their god over there, Immobile, and
you're the third best team in Rome because Frosinone is ahead of you guys.
So Lazio, I think they have a fucking meltdown this year. So I'm putting them in the 9th spot, and number 8, I'm gonna go with Bologna.
Okay.
I know they got Italiano now, but I just think losing Calafiori, losing Xerxes, losing Motta, those were like 3 big pieces that got them into Europe. And I think, they still have the main other core of group of guys. Actually, not even, because they even lost Salamakers too, because he went back.
Yeah.
But the rest of the team, they still got. I just think it's not enough to even come close into that Europe spot. So I think, they just make it out of there, but I think like it's not going to be anywhere close to that Bologna you saw last year.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Wait, is that all you're saying? Yeah, because 7th is Europe and on.
Yeah, you're saying 7th is Europe. You're confusing me. You said
my
10
bad,
to 8, and then now you want to change on me.
My bad. Okay.
Not this guy.
So 10 to 8. Yeah.
George Costanza over here.
Soon. I might have to do that. Okay, so for me, the 10th spot, I have Hellas Verona there. After seeing them this weekend against Inter, okay, I know it might be a one-off game that they did that or whatever.
Nick thinks they're going to win the Scudetto.
Sorry, Napoli, not Inter.
Yeah, Napoli.
Sorry.
Nick said they're winning the Scudetto.
Yeah, like Hellas Verona. Like, don't get me wrong, though, they do look like a good team. Like, they look decent enough. So that's why I have Hellas Verona dead center, 10th place. Maybe an argument could be made. Monza finishes in 10th instead, whatever. But I'm going to base this off of that one game right now against Napoli. It was kind of impressive. So I'm going to have Hellas Verona in the 10th spot. I hate that Al put Lazio in 8th place because
I put them in 9th.
in 9th place because I put them in 8th place and I put Bologna in 9th place.
So you got the swap of me.
I got the swap of Al, and it pisses me off because, again, I want to put Lazio significantly lower than this. But logistically speaking
you put them higher. So
Bologna
you're the Roma fan, apparently.
I know. Bologna did lose key guys. Calafiori, Xerxes, Salamanders over there. Technically, the only player I could think of that will kind of maybe carry an offensive threat would be Orsolini and Dan Ndoye.
Yeah.
Not Evan Ferguson, sorry. Is it Lewis Ferguson, I think?
Yes.
The center mid, I think he's still missing a good chunk of the year.
Yeah.
And that was a huge part of their success. He was a heartbeat of their team. So that's why I have Bologna below Lazio here. I think they're going to suffer a bit with losing everything they have lost. Lazio in 8th. I don't want to commend them in any way or say anything about them. So I'm just going to say Lazio.
No comment.
Yeah, no comment.
Okay. That's respectable, Joe. I get it. They should have probably been higher, especially you're a Roma fan, but that's on you, man. You think they're going to actually do pretty good. So, hey.
No, you wait.
Not me.
Wait, Bello, don't worry.
I showed you my rival team, what I think about them.
Don't worry.
We'll see about that. So now we'll do 7 to 5. 7-6-5.
7-6-5. Okay.
So
this is the fun part.
In that 7th spot right there. The first game, I think, showed a reflection of what they're going to do.
I know what he's going to say, right?
And I genuinely think, I know they were happy with the coach, and it was a big revolution for them. But I just think that it's going to be an even bigger meltdown than last year. In that 7th spot, I'm sorry, Nick, I'm putting Napoli.
Oh, I thought you were going to say Roma.
I know. I was building that up. That you couldn't tell.
I think my nose started to run a little bit.
No, I genuinely think Napoli gets they'll get that last Conference League spot, but I just think this year I don't think Conte lasts more than a couple months. I think it just goes downhill. Now Cavada got hurt the first game.
Yeah,
Osimhen, they still don't know what they want to do with him because they're going to decide on the last day and still try to bring in Lukaku, but that's not going to help anything. So I just think Napoli end up getting that last European spot and they finished in 7th. In 6th. Now, I know you felt something last round for when I said my 7th team, but you weren't far off. And I'm sorry, Joe.
No, I know.
But I think Roma get in that 6th spot, especially. And a lot of this depends too with what ends up happening with Dybala, if they end up bringing somebody else in, if Tammy still leaves, because I know that's still a question in the air. There's a lot happening right now, but I just think that with Roma right now, they're at a point where it's a weird point for them, and I think with De Rossi and the fans having a lot more expectations with them, especially with the signings that they've made, because for once I feel like Roma actually spent money in a transfer window and spent significant money for Roma. Not they signed this guy for 10 mil, this guy for 5 mil, this guy for 3.5 mil. It's like, they signed Sule for 30 mil plus bonus. They signed Dobrik, La Liga's top goal scorer.
I'm calling him Dobrik.
I'm calling him Dobrik. They signed him, La Liga's top goal scorer, for what, another 30 mil? 40 mil. Okay, so Roma's spending money. With De Rossi, I know, obviously, it's new, it's the love and everything. I think he's a good man to be in that spot. But nowadays, with the way fans are, I just think they're going to get into, especially if Roma start having a 2-3 bad game run form, I think it's just going to go downhill for them. I genuinely think I can see it happening.
If you go on Twitter,
that's after one game.
You go on Twitter, and these guys are snapping, saying, dead tactics. This is what happens when Dybala doesn't play. But he's the most skilled player since Totti. And it's like, you know what? Talent-wise, of course, I'm not going to dispute that. I agree. But at the same time, if a guy doesn't want to be a part of a team, he doesn't want to be a part of a team. A. B. Roma is much larger than Dybala. Watching Sule, I would kind of look at you and say, I prefer Sule over Dybala right now. It's like what Totti said before. You can't rely on a guy that's only able to play 15 games in a year. And Dybala, as good as he is, whatever, I love the guy and I don't want him to leave, obviously, because it
becomes a problem.
Yeah, and that's what I mean. You could tell these players are all distracted, this Dybala thing. De Rossi's distracted. His whole pre-match press conference
was about it.
Was literally about Dybala, and he came on and said, I want to talk about my team.
Yeah.
Not just Dybala. So, it's a thing. This is why what your dad was saying outside. The transfer market should be done before the first game of the season. From the last game of the season until the first game of the season, transfer window open.
Yeah.
Figure it all out. Now we have one game. You have another game coming up. I think we have up to like 3 games that the transfer market's still open.
Mm-hmm.
So your starting striker, your starting whatever could be gone. And it's like, yo, we were kind of prepping that he wasn't going to leave, and it becomes a whole thing.
Mm-hmm.
And then if he does leave, he's asking for more time again. And it's like, you're going to give him that because he's a star player. But it's like, if he does leave, you're now letting us scramble in the last fucking week of this transfer market to find somebody to replace Dybala. And it becomes a problem. And I feel like that is going to fuck Roma over long-term this year. And it's just going to have like that lasting effect. And everyone's going to turn back and say, oh, it's because we don't have Dybala. No, it's because this was dragged on unnecessarily. Like Juve with Chiesa, with all this other shit. But I digress. Sorry. I'm on a rant. Getting very passionate.
It's okay. Okay, so I my 5th spot now. One more spot to go.
Yeah.
In 5th, for me, honestly, it's a tough one because I want to say Milan because I just think that with Fonseca, I just don't think he's the right man for that team. I think they didn't address all the weak points that they had from last season, which was their defense. Instead, they're selling one of their defenders to a rival, us. Yeah. Which, I mean, hey, I'm not going to complain about it. If the guy can stay healthy, I'll fucking take him.
Yeah, Klu's great.
Yeah, if he can stay healthy, dude, I'll take that guy, no problem. But they didn't address those areas. Yeah, okay, you brought MOTTA in to replace Giroud. Okay, finally, you guys have another striker that that is a little bit younger and can play
I really
that
like
role.
Morata.
I do too. But that wasn't something that they needed to be addressed. You needed a striker, but you still had Jovic. There was still a lot of other options too. You have that Kamada kid, like give him a fucking chance. You know what I mean? Like it wasn't. They needed defense. Like I'm sorry, that Thiago whatever.
I don't know how to say his name.
Is
I hear people calling him
Cha? Yeah,
so
Cha. That's what they call him. Is the worst defender I've ever seen in my life, and I'm not just Milan hating. I'm like genuinely, dude. I'll say if a guy's good, I'll tell you, hey, yeah, that guy. Honestly, hey, I fucking hate them, but he's a fucking solid player. Yeah. I say that about especially now about a lot of Inter players because they actually have good players now. I hate saying it, but a spade's a spade. I'll fucking call it when it is. And he is not that guy, man. He cannot read a ball. His defensive awareness is horrible. Did he score in his own net
this weekend too?
Yeah, and he also on the second goal when Zapata headed it, he's covering in front of him as the ball's coming up. He runs forward, leaves Zapata alone, and then tries going back, and Zapata just fucking headers it right alone in the box. He's literally a shit defender. I don't rate him, so like I can see Milan being in that spot. Fiorentina also too. I could be in that, but I think they'll do a little bit better. But Milan and Fiorentina are safe for now. In that spot, I think it's going to be Atalanta.
Wow.
I think it's going to be Atalanta.
That's
I know,
super bold.
I know, but with the guys are losing, I know now everyone's like, oh, but look how good they still. Like today, they smashed. They did Lookman didn't play, Koopmeiners didn't play, and look how good they were playing. Like they don't need those guys. They're good. Hey, Gasperini's a great coach. I'll give him that. He can do. He's done very well with that team and accomplished a lot of things. Mm-hmm. But I don't think that they're going to be a top 4 team this season. I think they just fall out of that. They're still going to be in that top race, but I just think that at the end of it, when it comes to it, they're going to finish outside of it.
Damn, I think that's a very bold prediction. I'm not going to lie.
I'm a pretty bold guy.
Only
sometimes.
Because like okay, my thing is I think back to the last time Atalanta was in No, they were in Champions League last year too. Never mind, actually. Yeah. I was going to say whatever, but no,
they were in Europa League last year.
No, they were dropped down from Champions League.
Okay, so they played one round of Champions League.
Yeah, but I'm still saying like they had the competition. I just think that's kind of bold. Yeah. I think Atalanta's riding a high. They beat it undefeated Leverkusen.
It only lasts so long. Yeah, and look who beat Leverkusen. If it wasn't for Lookman, that game.
I thought you were talking about that time we beat Leverkusen.
No.
Oh, what the hell? Why were we talking about?
I was talking about you guys. I'll be talking about Sevilla.
Don't talk about Sevilla. Fucking loser. But yeah, no.
Sevilla and Monchi.
If you ever want to give me PTSD, just mention Monchi.
If you ever want to give Joe Atch, just mention those 2 words.
I'm pretty sure somebody in the group chat once sent a picture of Monchi, and I'm like, I'm done.
That's probably me.
I threw my phone on the floor. I'm like, I don't want to look at this anymore. No, but Atalanta in 5th, I genuinely think they're not going to say where I think they'll finish yet or whatever, but that's bold. That's very,
Joe,
very bold,
I'm a bold guy. That's why now it is your turn. Who is your 7 to 5?
7 to 5. Okay, so in 7th place, I got Fiorentina. I just think with them, they're a good team. They're just trying to figure themselves out still. Every year, it's almost as if they lose a couple decent guys or like guys that were in the starting 11, replace them. And like, yeah, obviously they do well to replace them. These players are good. They had a pretty
impressive window this year.
What?
They had a pretty impressive window.
No, for sure. But I feel like every year they're doing like low-key good business or something like that, especially the last like 3 or 4 years. But it's almost as if they lose the plot at some point. And it's like they start dropping stupid points. You see them in the conference league or whatever. They start losing games. Like them losing to Olympiacos. Not going to talk bad about Olympiacos because that was an amazing win. You guys had a 0.01 chance to win everything, and you ended up doing it. But, you know, like Fiorentina should have won that game, and they ended up losing it. And that's the thing. I feel like that's the Fiorentina trend for the next little bit until they really have something going. And that's why I think they'll be a Conference League team again. Seventh place for them.
Oh man, I disagree with that one.
Napoli, I think, is going to be in 6th. I think they're really going to come close to 5th. Yeah, I was going to say we just kind of almost. Oh, we didn't even swap. Never mind. But yeah, no, Napoli in 6th. I think Conte has the tools to get something out of these guys. But I think he's just also confused what his best 11 is, given that Ocean Man over there may not be their striker. You know, he doesn't know who his 9 is.
And I figured out it's August 19th and still don't know what they're doing.
So that's why I think with that, it's like that's the problem. That's where it lies, because once he figures that out, once he has his number 9, whether it's Ocean Man, whether it's Raspadori, Simeone's not even there, or Lukaku, you know what I mean? Once he has that figured out, I think you'll start to see him do a little bit better. But I think at that point, he's still going to have some issues. So I see Napoli finishing in 6th, arguably maybe 5th, but I'll say 6th. 5th place, I see Milan. I love you, Fonseca, and I would have put you top 4, but the problem is the players you have, although very friggin' good and talented, they lack consistency. Leao is a bit of a diva, so that's going to fuck you. Morata's going to be great.
But offside half the time.
Half the time. Reinder's good. Loftus-Cheek good. Fofana, that signing is going to be good. But then you have zero defense. Mañana I also don't trust. I feel like every year he's getting injured. So expect to use your backup at some point, and then you'll start to fall
forget,
down.
like, man, there was a couple games last year, like, hey, nothing away from him. He is a good goalie. But he let in some fucking howlers last year and some fuck ups on his own.
That's what I mean. So like
he shouldn't be doing.
Even Mañana, like I think he's a good
those things
goalie,
cost you a title.
I think their defense is their biggest problem situation. And like knowing Fonseca from Roma, he's not the most tactically aware coach from a defensive standpoint. He's more of an offensive guy, right? Like he's good at obviously everything, but I think his biggest prowess is getting the attackers to do well, getting it all to click. And if he doesn't have already a good foundation to start on defense, I think that's going to be problematic. So I think Milan, that's why I have them in the 5th spot. And I wish Fonseca the best because I love Fonseca with everything in me. But
honestly, pretty bold of you. Pretty fucking bold of you to put them there because I'm putting them in the 4th spot.
Wait, what time is it?
What? What the hell? Joe just freaking scared me. What the hell?
Sorry.
What time is it? It's 5:56.
Have to make sure.
Just by the way,
to make sure about something.
So in my 4th spot, Milan? I'm putting Milan there. You know, it was a toss up between them in that 5th or 4th. I do think they maybe get into that top 4 spot. I see a little bit more than anything higher than up. They end up with Fonseca. They could very well finish higher up. That's just kind of in the air. But realistically speaking, I'm not going to harp too much on Fonseca. What they should be doing with what they have, I'm going to put Milan in that 4th spot. They don't get into that top 3 or top 2, but they're still under 5. So
I'm still very curious for this last 3 for you. We're just doing 4th and 3rd though, right?
Yeah. We'll do 4th and 3rd. So in my 3rd spot now is going to be Fiorentina.
Yeah, I was going to say you have to say Fiorentina.
That's the win in the league. They're the Leicester City this year.
Well, that's what I mean though. Like De
Gea comes back his first year back and wins a title for Fiorentina.
I forgot about De Gea.
Yeah. That's what I mean, man. Joe, with the signings that they made with Palladino, I think that Palladino was the right coach for them. A step up from Italiano, and with the guys that they've brought in, I can see them being a very tough team this year and being a top 3 team.
See, now that I think about it, I would want to swap Fiorentina for. No, I'd put Fiorentina. Whatever. Anyways, it's too late.
No swapping. I only got the one because
I
got
did
last
episode.
Week.
Yeah, you're right.
I'm putting Fiorentina in that 3rd spot. I'm genuinely impressed with them, and they're going to be one of the teams. And I know they're giving us a hard time right now with Nico Gonzalez, but they always give us a hard time. But that's one team that I've always watched them. I've always actually enjoyed watching Fiorentina, and this season especially is going to be one of those years where I'm going to be watching, I think, a little bit more of them, depending how they keep it up. If they start off and they're just absolutely shambolic,
that's
the first couple of games, it might be completely wrong. But just from a gut feeling, I think that they're going to be one of those teams this year that like a Bologna last year. It's like, what the fuck? Like, okay, I know they made some pretty impressive signings, but like, hey, you know what? They fucking held up and they finished in that top 3.
No, Fiorentina, top 3, I think is still a little bit bold. But I do, like, now that I'm thinking,
I'm a bold guy, like I said about before, Joe.
The thing is, though, I also see them getting rid of Nico Gonzalez, right?
Yeah,
because he's being shopped out, right?
He is gonna.
So if he leaves, I think that's a huge blow. Like, obviously, I think Beltran's great. Is Beltran even there still? I don't even know right now. I feel like I'm all at 6s and 6s this whole thing. Colpani, I think, was a great signing. Yeah. Literally, Palladino knows him because he had him on Monza, so that's a great signing. To get in that obviously solves a shit ton of problems for them because
they haven't had your striker now. I think, dude, he can have one of those turnarounds, especially on a team like Fiorentina, where the expectations not like Juve.
Yeah,
and he has that more freedom. Yeah, this can be a turnaround season for him.
Yeah, that's true too. He
like
could have his reincarnation.
They're a very they're going to be an exciting team this year, man. I'm telling you,
not that exciting.
No, they'll be exciting, man. You know it, dude. It's not Lazio, dude. Fuck off.
Yeah, okay.
Give him some
praise. No,
I do.
I've always respected Fiorentina, mainly because of Rui Costa.
Yeah,
and my guy over there.
Who?
About
to go.
My crazy Lion King. But all right. So
now you're gonna do your number 4 and 3.
Okay, so 4th spot, I have Roma.
Sorry. I generally was coughing though. I wasn't done on purpose.
Yeah, for sure. And then 3rd, I have Atalanta. I like Atalanta. They just piss me off. They genuinely piss me off because it's a bunch of weirdos that they have. Like, none of these guys look like they know how to play. Like, Zappa Costa literally looks like he's like a sous chef at some average restaurant, and here he is just pocketing fucking Vinny Jr. for almost the whole game. Oh, I'm being dramatic. For at least a half. You have Ruggeri, who somehow is prime Zambrotta or mixed with Roberto Carlos. I don't know. They're such a well put together team. The players' names aren't big, like spotlights, whatever, but somehow they know how to get the best out of these guys. And Gasperini is a genius. And I don't understand his transfer tactic because he has like 19 strikers now, but he has a great
and 3 replacements for Coop Miners, but they don't want to get rid of him
that's
yet.
The thing. Like, they made some good signings, and like they got Zaniolo, look man. Scamacca, who's injured, so we won't count him right now, but they replaced him with Retegui. Like, they have these guys that are good, that are very talented. So it's like if
they brought in thing too, Samardzic. That's from Udinese.
That's another midfielder. It's just not fair. You know, they're doing good business and they're moving nicely, like, as a team.
Yeah.
So it's like I feel like they're definitely a top 3 team, and they'll definitely trouble whoever I put in second.
They get in the top 5.
As for Roma, I mean, we have to get it right once, right? We've been trying to get top 4 for the last 4 years. We have to get it this year, right? Like, come on, man.
For me, I don't think so, but
no, this is wishful thinking. I think if Dybala stays, De Rossi will then start him, and then you'll see something different formation-wise. Like, I don't think what you saw against Cagliari was the real starting 11 he'd field.
Yeah.
You know, like, Cristante wouldn't be playing. I think it would be Paredes. Pellegrini wouldn't be in the position he's in. I think he was just doing certain things. Like, he's trying to figure it out still with these transfers, if we're bringing in another winger, if we're selling Dybala. So, yeah, I don't know. Once he figures that out, I think we'll start doing well, and we'll start moving nicely.
To each their own.
To be their own.
Yes.
You know? All right.
So for top 2, I feel like we'll just say who we think is going to win, because I'm not going to say number 2 because then you obviously know who's going to be number 1. So I'm just going to say who I think is going to end up winning the league. And I think genuinely this year, not compared to last year, you're going to see an actual title race till the end. I don't think it's going to be, we know the winner a month in advance, 2 months in advance. I think it's going to go right to the wire, right to the end. But I'm going to say, especially in the league, I think Juve ends up winning it this year over Inter. And not taking away anything from Inter, not, saying, after that first game, look how shit they were. Yeah, buddy, they're not winning. Literally not because of that. The thing with Inter is, just like us, they're going to be competing in every competition. Right now, Inter is, they're like how Juve was 7 or 8 years ago, where they have their starting 11, which is solid in every position. They have the depth. They have the whole team. But I just feel like their main focus is not going to be, obviously going to be focusing on winning the league, obviously. But last year they wanted that second star, and you saw it. Like that was literally the only thing that they cared about. Now, I think you're going to see them a lot more competitive and going the distance in Champions League. I think the Club World Cup, you're going to see them making a fight for. Obviously, Coppa Italia, I don't think it's going to be their main priority, but it'll still be there. And then they have the Super Cup as well. So obviously, they're going to try to win that because they're playing us. So that's one already there in play. But the other 2 competitions, I think, are their main. That's where their main focus is going to be. Hopefully that they don't have any major injuries to their team. And I just think that the league is, Juve's in those competitions as well. Obviously, they're not just going to give up and not care about those. They're still going to try to make a fight. But we're a thinner squad. We don't have the depth that Inter does. So for us to go and say, Serie A is our main focus, we want to try to win it, I can see that being more realistic, and I can see Juve trying to do that. I can see them kind of being, as Jay Twitter would say, the anti-Inter this year. I could see it being us. And especially after watching today's game, and I'm not one to, after the first game, guys, finish the league today.
That's me.
We won.
I was
done.
Really hoping
it's
over. So I
over.
could have sent a picture to Al saying, "Stop the count.
Stop the count. We're
done.
good." No. But this was the first time, and I said it to you in the garage when we were watching it together. This was the first time in probably 3-4 years that I actually enjoyed watching a Juve game.
Yeah.
I watch them every week because I'm a fan and I'm stupid and I'm addicted to them, and I can't miss a game. But I actually genuinely enjoyed watching the game today. Like, you didn't see them sitting. You saw them pushing for the ball. They wanted that. When they didn't have possession, they wanted to win it back as fast as possible and get that ball back and control the game. And they kept pushing when they had to. They looked solid defensively. Like, even if D. Greggs had really nothing to do today because of how easy the defense made his life. Yeah. So if we can keep that up and we don't have major injuries, Juve can 100% go the distance and win the league this year, in my opinion. And I'm not saying this as a bias because I said last year that Inter was going to win, and I was right. I'll say what it is, but this is the first time, and I think making the change in coach, that is exactly what we needed. Getting rid of those guys that were just dead weight on the team. And I know people right now with Giantoli and with these deals, and I don't blame him. It's the other Serie A teams that are fucking just being assholes, honestly, right now, and just making it hard on Juve because they hate us, because they ain't us. And what he's done, man, already this transfer window has been massive. And even with Chiesa, like, people don't like, that whole situation, but at the end of the day, Chiesa's talking and making it seem like he's bigger than the club. Nobody's bigger than the club. Yeah. You want a certain amount of money? I'm sorry, you're not worth it. Your stupid agent's getting in your head, and everyone's telling you. Maybe you should listen and look what McKennie did. Say, hey, you know what? I'm gonna play. I'm gonna negotiate, and you'll be back into the team. Yeah. That's what all he needs to do. And if just having that fucking stupid agent out of his life, and him just having a clear head, coming back into the team would be like another signing to the team. Just knowing that, okay, he is going to be with us, and seeing what they did today without him, that, hey, you know what, we'll be okay. Maybe not depth wise, but we'll be fine. Yeah. Having him there would just be that added bonus to the team. Yeah. So especially when you guys had a couple youngsters that looked kind of impressive today, which fucking irritates me. Bambula. But, no, you know what? Me and you actually have the same top 2.
Me and you, I do think I said it last year.
Yeah, you said it last year too. So like, I know.
So that's the thing. Like, I just feel like because Juve has that genetic makeup, it's their DNA. You don't get the amount of stars they got because they're one and done like Milan did or Napoli or whatever. You know what I mean? Like, there's a reason why they've been so dominant and so triumphant like within this league. It's just their DNA is we're winning this league every single fucking year.
Mm-hmm.
It's not a matter of ifs, ands, or buts. And Allegri could have downplayed that. Oh yeah, it's not our goal. We just want to finish top 4. No. Juve's goal is always to win everything. You know.
Yeah.
And this year, I think the starting 11 you guys have, the signings you made were very good, and Scudetto worthy.
Looking at the starting 11 pre-game, a lot of people, especially on Twitter, having meltdowns and like question like, "Oh, dude, what the hell happened to Juve? Look at this team." But like, man, you see a team of guys that are playing with a purpose, and actually you see ideas on the field, not just, hey, go out there, defend, and try to counterattack. Like you really see something in these guys, and everybody knows their role, and they play it very well. We addressed a lot of the issues that we were fucking needing to.
Yeah. No, that's why, like, I think you guys actually solved a lot of stuff. Giuntoli needs more credit than deserves more credit than he is getting with the way he's handled all these contracts and signing and stuff like that. And he's also not succumbing to like certain demands of other teams, which is good. I like that. But yeah, I just think this is Juve's year. I don't think Inter will be able to do the double when back-to-back seasons. I don't know. There's just something about Juve. The aura is different for them now. It's like, it's almost like they need to win it. And obviously they're in Champions League this year, so they have multiple fronts to compete on. But again, like, Juve, their decision this year is, okay, we're obviously not ready to compete on all these fronts, depth-wise and maturity-wise or whatever. Let's at least solidify something.
Yeah.
And I think you'll always see them play their best 11 in the league.
Yeah.
Coppa Italia, they may write it off, whatever. Champions League, maybe the first 3 games. Oh, no, it's a new format this year.
It's a new format.
That could be tough then. But regardless, I still see them maybe like for the Champions League, resting a key guy makes you question why the fuck they're doing it. But, I just see Juve really going all in, and I think Juve could do it. And there's not a problem on their team. In my opinion, like, starting 11, their best players, even what I saw today, like, there's not a flaw. So the only flaw I could maybe say to you would be like the fact that we were talking about it earlier, ball playing center back.
Yeah.
I would say it's the fact that Gatti and Bremer are really known for that.
Yeah.
But even then, it's not detrimental when you can't get by them. Like, there was one shot.
A brick wall.
There was literally one shot outside the box. Bremer headed to deflect it away, and then Gatti somehow just fucking prime Zidane jumped up and controlled it with his foot. And I'm like, oh, okay, cool, man. So you're not even going to allow a no-nonsense shot on target now.
Nothing,
cool,
man.
See you later. Again, it is Como. It's the first game of the season.
Yeah.
But it's still like what I saw today. A, pisses me off because I hate Thiago Motta. B, looked impressive. And if you could do that and maintain that throughout the whole year, which I think
that's what it's going to come down to. But with the players we have, hopefully, no major injuries. I think 100% that they can definitely make a push, and they're like, people are going to really see a not to be corny, but a rejuvenated team. Rejuvenated team.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah, brother. Okay, hey, like we did last week now, we're also going to say, who do we think is going to be the top scorer?
Oh, we did do that last week.
We did that.
Like, what do you want about?
Who do you think is going to finish as top scorer in the league?
Lautaro Martinez.
You think Martinez does it again?
I think he's just... Lautaro Martinez. I think he's just too much of a killer. Obviously, like, a shout could be made for Vlaho. I could have said him. Thuram. I could be fucking crazy and say Martin fucking Dovbyk or whatever his name is over there. Artem Dovbyk. Because he's at number 9. Dobrik. But I don't know. It's Lautaro Martinez to me is just a perfect striker. If I'm like, he's just love him. Hate him, but love him.
Yeah, just hate him. He's good, but I was
gonna say Vlaho.
I just hate him. No, genuinely, I do see Vlaho winning it, but I can also see him making a fight for it or being up there is Thuram. I can see him or Thuram. I don't see Martinez doing as well.
That's what I think
scoring wise, doing as well as he did last year.
But that's the thing.
Hold on. You saw that Inter game. Okay, yeah, they tied, whatever. But now with Thuram, you see Martinez is playing a little bit more back. He's not playing as that main striker now. He's playing a little bit as like a playmaking striker kind of thing, like a center forward. So I don't think he scores as much as he does like he did last year.
But that's the thing too. Martinez has those games where he just pops off and scores 5 goals.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? Like we saw it last year. He literally, I think, the first 3 games, he had a hat trick in all 3 of them or something like absurd like that. Yeah. Whereas Tudam is more of that. He scores, obviously, but he's not as killer like Martinez.
I think you're gonna see it this year. Having his brother in the league is gonna be that extra boost for him.
Extra push. Who's the better Tudam? We already know.
Come on. Obviously, Lillian.
I was just about to say it's Big Lil, but okay. That's Tudam's not a bad show at all.
I think so, man. I think it's going to be between him and Vlau going.
Kind of crazy.
Going
Both said an Eater guy.
Yeah, I know.
Like leading.
I mean, dude, we're not like we're stupid, but we're not that stupid.
And then Cristante with the most assists.
Okay, take it easy. Do you want to do that too? Just for
There's still
jokes?
not a Roma player that would make it.
Oh no, I was gonna say like you want to say like who's gonna be like the top assist?
No.
Okay, fine.
Most yellow cards.
Different than we'll do this one too. Different than the obviously top scorer. Who do you think is gonna be MVP of the season? Oh, that doesn't have to do nothing with top scorer.
Yeah, that's true. Actually, they could just be cool. Baldanzi. No, I'm kidding. MVP of the year. That's tough to say actually. But given that I think Juve is going to win it, I feel like the MVP always goes to the winner of the league.
Most like for the last 5 years it has.
Yeah. So I'm going to say MVP will probably be no, either Vlau or Tudam.
No. I generally, man, just seeing for like dude, he got my pants off very quickly today. If he can keep this up all season, 100% this guy's winning MVP. I think Yildiz. I think he can add.
I was actually thinking Yildiz too, but then I'm like, I could see there's a point in time that he gets benched. That's the only thing.
Oh,
Not
man,
a bench because he did something wrong, but I could see it'll hit a
There'll
point.
be someone else that maybe is better in form at that time.
Yeah, you know what I mean. Like if you guys do get
saying.
Nico, then like he could slide in or this or Tim. Like you know what I mean. So like I see Vlau as the automatic starter. Like there's no one else competing for a spot.
Yeah.
Obviously, Yildiz is up there, but I could see if another winger is purchased or another center forward or anything in this last coming weeks, then they're kind of alternating the time and shit like that. So that's why I'm gonna go with the safer one and say Vlahovic over Yildiz.
I'll say Yildiz.
Agree to disagree.
Yeah,
both Juve
players. So we obviously fucking crazy.
Yeah, we know ball.
We just watched the Juve game, probably.
Love friggin' hell yeah, Juve.
But on that note, I think that covers everything for Serie A today.
Yeah.
Next week we're probably going to go back into our old ways and kind of
talk about news,
get into topics and to match days, because that's a thing now. Soccer is back, football is back, and we can actually have something to talk about and not go through the whole summer of just dead transfers and Fabrizio Romano. Here we go soon.
Yeah, that never
maybe it's going to happen, and then it ends up not happening. So
Ornstein's the only one, baby.
Finally, next week, we're going to go back into just full-on topics and results. If you guys haven't already, don't forget to follow us on TikTok, Twitter, and Instagram at UltrasXI. Don't forget to check out our YouTube channel and subscribe there. Our newest video will be up tomorrow. Same with the podcast on Apple Podcasts and Spotify and every other fucking podcast provider, because we're fucking massive. We're everywhere. Yeah. We're like fucking Juve handing out jerseys to every celebrity in the world. Like we're just, our PR team doesn't know what to do. And yeah. We'll see you next week. We'll hear you next week. We love you guys. Ciao, ciao. And don't forget to let us know what you guys want us to do.
Vote. Don't be an
for our dare over here. And you got the two options of the Denny's and the, what was yours again?
Sing each other's song.
Yeah, sing each other's song. So you guys let us know if you want to do that, or if you want something else. You guys let us know in the comments. Probably Joe will post something up. So let us know there. Love you guys. See ya. See.